Fun fact, most people actually don't put 20% down when they buy a house. In recent years, first-time homebuyers have put on average 7% down and repeat buyers about 17%, according to the National Association of Realtors profile of homebuyers and sellers. In this video, I'm going to go over the ways in which most first-time homebuyers come up with the funds for the more reasonable 7% down to buy a home. Be sure to check out number 5 and number 6, where I'll explain how some buyers are even able to put nothing down. I'm Amber Klingensmith, and I'm a top producing realtor in the Reno-Sparks area of Northern Nevada. I find it extremely rewarding when a buyer doesn't think they can actually buy a home, and then I get to hand them the keys. Now that you realize most buyers don't come up with 20% to put down on a home, here are the top ways in which buyers do come up with their average 7% down payment. Number 1, savings. Yes, believe it or not, most people do actually save the money to buy their home. I did. Now this takes serious commitment and sacrifice. I actually lived with my mother and shared a room with my son for 3 years. I had a short sell my house, which stayed on my credit report for 7 years. Pay off over $100K in debt for my student loans, car loans, attorney fees, and hospital bills for my son's cancer treatment. If I can do it, so can you. Number 2 is a gift or loan from friends or family. Well, this really is nice. Many people are given money as a gift, loaned the money, or even inherited it after a family member passes. Think of who you may know who would be willing to help you and ask. The worst case scenario is a no. Number 3, stocks, bonds, 401k, or a pension fund. You may want to consider selling some of your stocks or bonds or cashing out some of your 401k or your pension. You can take money from that investment and use it for your down payment, essentially reinvest it into your own home. Before you do this, it is imperative that you speak with other trusted advisors. For example, sometimes the money you may take out of these funds could come with significant tax implications. Number 4, get an FHA loan. This is a government-backed loan where the minimum down payment is about 3.5%, and they're generally a little easier to qualify for as they accept applicants with lower credit scores than a conventional loan. Many first-time home buyers use this, and it's a great option to be able to buy your first home and get started building equity. Number 5 is a VA loan. Have you ever served in the military, been discharged for medical or disability reasons, or are you the surviving spouse of someone who served? If so, you could be eligible for a VA loan, which in many cases would not require a down payment at all. What an awesome gift our country gives to those who served. However, no matter how you come up with a down payment, you will also need additional funds for closing costs. Closing costs are all the fees associated with buying a home. Some examples are loan origination fees, interest rate point buy downs, recording fees, escrow fees, transfer taxes, and inspection fees. The list goes on, but typically those fees can range anywhere from 1 to 6% of the amount of money you're financing. This seems to be left out of the conversation often, and I don't want anyone to be blindsided. One way to avoid having the cash to pay for the closing costs is to get an agent who's great at negotiating, like me. We can ask the seller to credit you, the buyer, and use that credit to pay for all or some of the closing cost fees. Sometimes when the real estate market conditions are more favorable for buyers, kind of like they are right now, or when you have a desperate seller, getting a credit may be very easy. Now I've saved the best for last. Number 6 is the local government grants or assistance programs. A few of the programs I'm familiar with here in Northern Nevada have down payment assistance up to 4% of the total loan amount, grants of up to $15,000, and some can even be used towards the closing cost as well. There's even programs if you would like to live in a more rural area, which somehow includes some of Sparks, which I wouldn't consider to be rural these days. These programs also support active military, teachers, and veterans. Now that you know it is actually possible to purchase a home without 20% down, you may still be leery. because you've heard that increased interest rates are making mortgage payments astronomical. Well, you're right. They definitely aren't helping making buying affordable. So be sure to watch my next video titled Should You Buy a Home When Interest Rates Are High, where I go over why it is still a good time to buy a home and what I've been doing to help buyers get more affordable mortgages. If you'd like more information on government grants or assistance programs, reach out to me via the links below or the links in my bio.